Welcome to Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. Here we are for the third week in a row talking about a big win. This is a big one, but the game coming up this week is the Eagles, so we'll talk about it all. Dean, you know what to do.
Sì. Scusa. Ma io sono Marco Polo, ma...
Playing Marco Polo with Marco Polo? Surprising.
Ragazzini, io sono Marco Polo. Sì, sono qui.
What's not surprising? How much money Amanda and Keith saved by switching to Geico.
Ah, Polo? Polo?
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Polo?
It was a big performance for everybody. Defense stepped up, did a nice job. First drive was a little scary. You know, here we go again. But they came back and took it personal and played well and did what it took to win and got off the field, played good on third down, rushed the passer, stopped the run for the most part in the second half. Did a great job, man. Hats off to them. We kind of know what type of team we have. We know these games are going to come down to the wire. You know, I don't know if we're ever going to dominate everybody and win 53-3. We understand that these games are going to be 60 minutes long. They all are in the NFL nowadays, if you look across the league. So just got to stay resilient, got to stay focused, and play hard for the entire length of the game. These guys so far have done a nice job of that, for the most part.
Welcome to Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. We like the way the offense played this week. Pierre Garçon was our player of the week. 5 catches, 56 yards to the TD. About time they start getting to him. Jamison Crowder is playing well. They're really playing well, but the one thing we don't like, they depend on the passing game too much. We need to see them run more.
Tony, you're absolutely right. I thought the running game languished a little bit on Sunday, and I think Kirk needs to play a little bit better. But Donna, the Washington Redskins are going up against Philadelphia. They are ranked considerably higher against the run defense. Matt Jones has to have a better game, and Kirk has to be more accurate.
Well, the thing about it, Mike, is that they're looking at adding Robert Kelly into the running mix a little bit more as far as with Matt Jones and Chris Thompson. So Kelly, they want to see him a lot more. He got like 4 carries, and as Gary said, that's not a lot, but they want to see a lot more as far as from him to get that running game. 60 yards against the Eagles is not going to get it done, and Kurt has to play a lot better than what he did last week.
Adam, 2 $20 million quarterbacks last Sunday. Who played better?
Well, I have to say Kirk Cousins did, just because they got the win, and when it came down to it, he threw the touchdown pass. However, he's going to be going up against the Philadelphia Eagles team that's coming off a loss. They're going to be hungry for a win. If he doesn't play better, the Redskins will lose on Sunday.
Mike, wait a minute, but neither quarterback played that well. I mean,
No,
Kurt
not
was
for $20 million.
No, both of them was overthrowing balls.
I mean, Gary
and
never made
everything.
$20 million,
He
did you,
struggled.
Gary?
I did not.
I think the most he ever made in 1 year was $1 million. But Jamison Crowder is the real deal. They drafted him last year, and now he's really coming on. You saw flashes of him last week,
nice.
but now he can go over the middle.
He's making plays.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's how you become established here in D.C. and for the Redskins, is you start to make plays that show out, and that's what he's doing, whether it's catching the ball, returning the kickback, coming across the middle, making the big plays. That's what he's doing, and that's why he's standing out right now.
Yeah, we got a great shot of the offensive line, courtesy of the Washington Redskins. We got the shot from the back, and you see the 2 big tight ends there, 2 of the best in the game, and that big offensive line. You have to at least boast about the offensive line and the time they've given Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, the pass blocking, and it's almost like that they are starting to play much better, gel a little bit with even the injuries and everything. But against a defense like they're going to face against the Eagles, they've got to step it up even more so. But it comes down to that running game, getting that started and getting Kurt comfortable as far as moving around, right, Gary? He has to move around a little bit more to see the receivers because it looks like he's getting trapped back there and not seeing the field.
Well, Pierre Garçon's the real deal. That was a heck of a catch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Pierre, he's a guy. Anybody who breaks Art Monk's record, you know he's the real deal.
Yeah.
So he's definitely the real deal without a doubt.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen? We've got 20 seconds. What's going to happen in the Philly game?
Well, it's going to be harder. They're going to get hit more. They're going to be hurried more. You gotta throw precise passes that are on the money.
You know they're playing well on the road, Gary. They're playing well on the road. What I like about them is
they're making the plays when they need to win the football game. And at the end of the day, that's the most important segment of any game.
Do they have a secret weapon we haven't seen yet, Donna? Come on, do they have a secret weapon? What about putting 3 tight ends in the game? Come on, when you got Vernon Davis in there, and that really lights it up, of course, because you've got Jordan Reed. But what about putting Niles Paul in there?
But they've got so many. I mean, I was talking about Niles Paul. He's pretty much disappeared out of the offense, but they've got so many weapons as far as the wide receiver, and they're trying to get Crowder in there. Kurt talked about getting him more touches and everything. So I don't know about the 3 tight ends because you got so many weapons as far as the wideouts.
Yeah, Tony, we'll be right back.
It's very satisfying to beat a good football team at their place. It took the whole team. It took everybody, all phases of the game, and maybe that's the kind of team we are. But very pleased to get to 3-2 and put 3 in a row together, and just life in the NFL. It takes everything out of you each week, and you get back and ready for the next one. I just know that to win those games, you have to be mentally, physically, and emotionally tough and resilient. And certainly, I like that about our team right now and what we're showing. But it's so week to week, and you're going to be on the other end of these a fair share too. So it's always week to week, and you just keep battling. But love to be a part of a team that I would consider resilient, and we'll see where we are at the end of the season. But I'm proud of the way everybody played today.
Sometimes we just got to play better. Today I felt like everybody came out, and played a hell of a game. So, hats off to everybody, though. The offense was down at times. I felt like they were doing a great job driving the ball. Just couldn't, for whatever reason, get it rolling in the end zone. We had a couple third and shorts and stuff, but the special teams played a hell of a game today. So hats off to them, too. This week, everybody was clicking on all cylinders. So guys competed at the ball, and we got off on third down, man. But it truly was execution.
Hey, Trent, could you talk a little bit about the defensive play overall? You all held them when you needed to in crucial situations.
Yeah, they're a good team. They played hard, and it's all about situational ball. So credit to the coaches for good game planning and good play calling, and credit to the guys for scratching and fighting for every yard and getting off the field.
Was it anything that Coach Berry talked about this past week in getting ready for this game against the Ravens?
Yeah, for sure. Joby had a point of emphasis on third downs all week, really. So we wanted to improve there as a defense and as a whole.
the Duke of Earl. He played well. He had 9 tackles, though, and he's a safety. When a safety has 9 tackles, that means that the front line is not hitting the runner before he gets there. You don't want your safety to do that. So now this defense, who makes big plays when they need to, they got to stop that run a little bit better and take Philadelphia out.
You know, when I talked to Tony, he's making a good point about Duke Iheanacho finally stepping into safety, playing well, playing lights out with the exception of 2 plays. But now we're going to ask the Queen. In the secondary, we have a Duke. We have a king in Josh Norman. And now we need a prince. Will the prince be Quentin Dunbar?
Is the Queen coming on the set?
Who was a wide receiver and is now playing cornerback and doing very well? Or will it be Trent Murphy, who surprised everybody with 5 sacks so far this season? We have a king. We have a Duke. Who's the prince? Queen.
It's got to be Trent Murphy because this is the
He
guy
asked
that
the Queen. Why are you talking?
because he came to the
He asked the
Would
Queen.
you be it?
He asked the Queen.
No, but actually he had stepped up. When you look at his play from last year to this year, this guy is playing lights out. When he's coming around that edge and everything, we talked about the pressure up front. He is bringing the pressure, and they'll need more of that this week. But this team finally got together and tackled better, and that was key in that game last week.
Adam, come on now. You basically are in rebuild mode. Doug Peterson comes in to the Philadelphia Eagles. The team's in first place. How can they turn it around in an offseason and the Redskins can't seem to do it?
Well, basically, I look at the Peterson hire as an admission that the Eagles made a mistake when they fired Andy Reid. What's notable about Peterson? He played for and coached under Reid. They're going back to his system, and it's working.
Or got Chip Kelly.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Wait a minute. We just won a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah.
That is true.
They
That's what I
are,
was
but
going
the-
for.
We're on a 3-game winning
They
streak.
are, but the Eagles are in first place in the division. You got to
But
give them
they
that.
proved that they could be beat last
They
week.
did. They
The
did.
Queen messenger speaks.
There you go.
Gary, you played in a lot of close games. There just seems to be a little bit of luck going on here. The ball falls the right way. All of a sudden, the 2 teams, Cleveland and in this last Sunday, they stopped running the ball against the Skins, and the Skins managed to get back in the game. What's going on here? Have you ever been on a team that just seemed to have good luck?
Well, I think you create your own luck.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I mean, you still have to come out and you have to make the big plays. What I'm seeing from the Skins is, in the 4th quarter, they tend to find, the last 3 games, they tend to find their meaning of playing football. And at the end of the day, they don't want to lose. And that's my biggest thing. Like, you got to hate to lose. You want to win, but you got to hate to lose. Right now, they're hating to lose, and they're not losing anymore.
Yeah.
The defense
it's probably
was the key.
it's
I
the
mean, the
Duke.
defense was the key.
Yeah, you know, in the,
and I don't
in
get
the
to say that
previous
too
week,
often.
It was the offense, it was the defense.
Well,
that
it was
won.
the Duke, the King, and the Prince.
Hey.
We'll be right back.
Hey, Chris, talk about how sweet it is to get this type of win. You all were in a dogfight. This defense kept making stops time and time again, but that last stop to win the game was even sweeter.
Yeah, it felt really good for us to win a game like that, especially for our defense. You know, everyone keep talking about how we can't stop the run, how we can't get off the field on 3rd down. And, you know, they had every right to say it because, you know, we've been stinking it up on those type of situations. But coach just told us all week to work on situational football, winning the important situations. Was able to win some great situational football. We stopped the 4th down kick, fake kick, whatever. You know, came with the 4th down stop and red zone to end the game. And it's just you know, a great example of winning the situation at the end of the game.
Came in, we did what we needed to do. Joe Flacco's one hell of a quarterback. Came in with one hell of a game plan. But we knew we had a game plan that if we actually executed it, we was going to win. Even though the offense had a hard time, sometimes the offense bailed us out, sometimes we bailed them out. We played as a team, and we actually won as a team. I don't care I don't care if the kicker missed the extra point. Sudden change. We did one thing that Jay keep preaching, and another thing that Joe B keep preaching. Master the situation.
97! Set! Red 97!
Did you say 97?
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating.
97%?
Helped by Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Oh yeah, baby. Geico's as fast and friendly as it gets.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
What's been the difference for you this year on the punt returns compared to the struggles you guys had last year?
I mean, just to be honest, from my perspective, it's just the guys blocking a lot better. Last year, we had a mixture of things. Sometimes I would make the wrong cut, and other times there were a lot of guys in my face. This year, the guys doing a really good job of holding it up. I'm able to catch the ball and having a lot of yardage before even the first defender down there. So they're doing a really good job of blocking.
Jamison Crowder, you hear that name quite a bit. Caught a lot of passes on offense. Had an 85-yard return for a touchdown, something that we've missed for a long time. I thought Brian Mitchell was out there, but that helps the special team. Now, you got to cover better, got to go down and get more field position for this team, and it'll work out for them. Special teams, you're finally becoming special.
Yeah, Tony made a point about Crowder I thought was really good when we talked to him. And this is the special teams, Gary, that we've always longed for. And lost in the shuffle was Will Blackmon's 56-yard kickoff return. You all had the Crowder beauty for a touchdown, 85 yards, but you had Blackmon in there too.
Yeah, which was key.
And you had a perfect field goal kicker who just missed one because of the wind. You got good special teams on this team.
Oh, wow. I don't like to miss no matter what the circumstances. You just don't like that no matter what the circumstances.
Oh, you gonna go get the win?
You do that, but the special teams are playing. We said that they needed to bring their game up, and they have brought their game up, and that's the reason why we have 3 wins.
Yeah,
all 3 segments is important.
Actually, Donna was at the game. She went down on the field. She held her finger up, and she felt the wind. And she called me and said, "Dustin's going to miss one today."
He wasn't even watching really good, but you could tell that when that field goal went up and the kick, that the wind just twirled around.
That's what it did. It just twirled around.
No, you could see that, and it took
the guy was perfect. He made 4 games.
He doesn't miss.
He was absolutely
right. But they're also that kick was also from quite a distance.
Yeah,
it was the end of a half.
56. That's money in the bank.
56 yards.
But I want to know on 4th and 1, they should have kicked that field goal because they were down 10-6, and if he made it, it would have been 10-9.
Would have been a 2-possession game.
But his gut, he said, told him to go for that one, and Baltimore did the same thing and messed up on the other end. So
are you surprised that an old safety can be a great kickoff returner, Gary?
No.
Will Blackmon, and he also had a little bit of a flash a couple weeks ago when the ball went to him.
Yeah.
He's got some speed.
Most safeties are really good athletes. I was a safety. Donna, what about you?
I had speed no matter what I was.
Is Will Blackmon your guy now?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a case-by-case basis. But if need be, he's capable at times of producing.
No, those guys, those 2 runs, Crowder and Blackmon, they made some things happen on those runs, the cutbacks.
Crowder's the real deal. I like him a lot.
The blocking was great, too.
As a return guy.
Crowder reminds me a little bit of Gary Clark. Just a little bit.
What?
Because there was nobody that could cut.
I don't know about that.
Nobody could cut better than
He does wear that number 80 kind of nice, though, I must admit.
All right, we'll leave it at
that. Is that what you want?
When I first came in.
Yeah.
Oh, that was when you first.
He was. I saw him run back one at James Madison. We'll be right back.
Check this out, bro.
What's that, bro, Heem?
I switched to Geico and got more.
More savings on car insurance?
Yeah, Professor, and more, like renter's insurance.
More ways to save. Nice, Brotated Chip.
That's not all protein shake. Geico has motorcycle and RV insurance, too.
Ooh, that's a lot more.
Oh, yeah. I'm all about more Teddy Roosevelt.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
This week's Stat of the Week is the Redskins have won 5 straight games on the road for the first time since 1991.
Minister of Information, once again, Baltimore with the Giants. Baltimore, which we see is a pretty good team, but not as good as the Washington Redskins. The Giants, Washington Redskins also beat them. So what we look at is what game and what do you think and who will play the best defense? These both teams are very solid, good defense, okay offensive. Let's get the home field advantage. Give it to the Giants.
Gary Clark here in Seattle. We have Atlanta coming to this beautiful city. Atlanta's been playing great. It's hard for me to pick against Atlanta, but when you have a quarterback like Russell Wilson, you kind of just have to go with Russell. Pick Seattle to bury Atlanta in Seattle. Donna Hopkins is picking Atlanta. That's another reason why I'm picking Seattle. Because I'm right. She's wrong. Go with Seattle.
So we got the Steelers headed to Miami to play the Dolphins. These two teams are headed in opposite directions. The Dolphins, they're in total disarray. They've only won one game on the year. The Steelers, they're on fire. Ever since losing to the Eagles, they've been pretty close to unbeatable. Ben Roethlisberger has been outstanding. The Dolphins, I don't know why they stick with Ryan Tannehill. He needs to go. Pick the Steelers by double digits on Sunday.
Who would have thought that at this stage of the season with a rookie quarterback that we would be talking about the Dallas Cowboys being 4-1? Prescott, 155 straight passes without an interception to start his career. Pretty impressive. This week they'll travel to Green Bay to take on the 3-1 Packers. Now when you look at these two teams, they are similar. Both have good offensive lines and both rely heavily on the running game. Elliott and the Cowboys average 155 yards on the ground, #1 in the NFL. And the Packers might be without Eddie Lacy, who left the third quarter with an ankle injury. So if the Cowboys defense is going to be successful this week against Aaron Rodgers, well, they can't afford to have him set back in the pocket and pick them apart like he did the Giants last week. So you have a rookie quarterback in Prescott and a veteran in Aaron Rodgers. Wow, this is going to be a tough one to pick this week. And I hate to do this. In Green Bay, I'm picking the Cowboys. Last week, I talked about a new show that's starting up. It's an all-female panel called TMI, Too Much Information. And this week, we've got the panel here. The ladies, April and Morgan. And our topic this week is unsportsmanlike conduct in the NFL. So, lady, what's your thoughts on that as far as the unsportsmanlike conduct in the NFL? If you get more than 2 flags or penalties and so forth, you're out of the game. So it's the celebration in the end zone. It could be anything. April, I'll start with you.
No, it can't be anything. And the only reason I say that is because they need to well define what it is. If it's being mean to another player or speaking to another player with malicious intent, find me all you want.
Fighting is part of it?
Fighting, all of that is inappropriate. You should get fined, you should suspend it, all of that. But when it comes to celebrating a success, I think all systems go. You worked hard, you were up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you were drinking protein shakes and lifting weights, and all that work you did means that, guess what? Hey, touchdown, I did it. That is appropriate.
And guess what, April? You'll be out of the game. They threw me out already. So, Morgan, what is your thoughts? Because you played football.
Yeah, no, I have a totally different opinion about celebration. I think Antonio Brown, for example, twerking in the end zone, that's just not right. That's disrespectful in every way.
And they've thrown so many flags at him already.
Yeah, no, and he deserves them. That's what I think.
I mean, how long is he celebrating?
No, it's almost not. It's not the celebration, but if you engage another player within that, that's a flag, right? That penalty. You can do it by yourself, and it depends on what you're doing as far as your celebration.
That's what I'm saying. Is it mean?
No, Morgan. You talk about this when you're playing. You're spending so much time celebrating or figuring out, well, how I'm going to celebrate, and your team is losing and so forth. But you're spending so much time celebrating that you're missing the main point and everything.
Exactly.
No,
you're missing the point of the game, and it's not about.
I agree with that.
Who can do the
from the perspective of, I believe doing splits in the end zone, twerk and salsa. That's all good with me.
She'll be
but when you go,
right, I can, I guess. I'm not sure.
But I remember when T.O. pulled the cell phone out and made the call. I think going to that extent where it's, you know, commercialized and you're clearly doing it for sponsors or for any reason other than celebrating the fact that you did something great in your athletic career, no problem.
Well, we can see that one person on this set will be thrown off, and the other two of us will be there because she's already got 2 flags thrown at her. But we've got so much more to talk about on TMI. But watch us in the upcoming months this season. We'll have more TMI, too much information.
I'm going to give you too much, too.
All righty, in the Sports Bar Challenge this week, the big game is Indy at Houston. Who picks that? That's a tough one. Crystal City Restaurant saying Texans. Crystal City Sports Pub saying Texans. Greavy's Restaurant saying Texans. Outback Steakhouse saying Colts. Hard Times Cafe at Fairfax saying Texans. And Harry's Ale House in Fredericksburg, they're saying the Colts.
On October 24th, we have a big show coming up. We're doing it at the Easter Seals office in Silver Spring, Maryland. We call it our Hire a Military Vet Challenge. Mike, why don't you tell them a little bit about that and let them see the flyer.
We have 2 events we want to talk about. One in particular that Tony's very proud of and we'll all be there is an event on October 24th. And it starts at 11:30 to 1:30. It's Hire a Vet Challenge and a live Tony McGee's Pro Football Show that starts at 2 o'clock. You can be part of the whole enchilada. Just all you have to do if you're a participating employee or employer, you just get in touch with this number, 301-920-9768, and say you'd like to have a featured booth that would hire a vet. So get involved with that. We'll all be there. And another event Tony wanted me to mention is the DC Metro, a very big event, 2nd annual DC Metro Business Leadership Network. And the president of Gallaudet University will be speaking. And if you'd like to attend the event on October 18th, go to www.dcmetrobln.org/event. 229147. Donna, you got the biggest event of all coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, Mike, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's our 3rd annual Pink Ribbon Throwdown. A couple of years ago, Gary was a part of that, and I think he's still recovering from that. That he will not come back this year, but come on out. It's free to the public, throwing down for a cause.
And Tony's got his tip of the week, and he'll take us out, and he'll be back next week. We're looking forward to seeing Big Tony on the set.
For the last 3 weeks, it's been very pleasant covering the Washington Redskins because they've won 3 in a row. Now they're getting ready to play Philadelphia. The team is leading the NFC East. When they beat Philadelphia, they'll be back in first place. So you know what? When we come back next week, let's go for 4 in a row. So instead of saying goodbye, as we always say, I say, we'll see you in a minute.
Welcome to the studio, Northern Virginia's most advanced, state-of-the-art private event venue. For your next party, wedding, fundraiser, or any special event, come to the studio. We offer the accommodations of a formal ballroom at a fraction of the cost. We can accommodate small gatherings to weddings with up to 275 guests. Our large event room has the latest in lighting, sound, projection, and video. The studio is now available for your next corporate meeting. Check us out on the web at thestudiova.com.
Okay, high school seniors, don't forget the scholarship contest. The essay topic is identify a societal problem and how you would remedy it. And if indeed you are selected as one of the winning essays, there will be 8 laptops in the offing.